Ugh. All the stories they tell young girls about the exhaustion associated with pregnancy, and you'd think that at least one of them would mention it's because you're waking up at ungodly hours just to puke your guts out.
I know it's difficult. But maybe it wouldn't be so difficult if you had someone to lean on.
Ugh. We are not going through this again. I'm too tired. It is too early in the morning, and the last time we talked about this, it ended in an argument. I'd prefer not to get all worked up at a time like this.
I know. But the thing is, you're already worked up. You always are. You always complain about having no one to go through this with you. But you realize you have someone in your life who can be there for you, right?
Oh, shut up. What the hell would you know about that anyway? You spend your days sitting in front of a rock and talking to it.
That is for an entirely different reason, Hitch, and you know that.
Yeah, save it for Annie. Look, you know perfectly well why I can't tell him. I've made it clear enough. That's why I confided in you in the first place, okay? I know you won't tell him, and I know you know how this stuff is supposed to work, right?
Only vaguely. That still doesn't account for the emotional aspect of this. You and we talk, but we have no real connection to each other. Sure, I can help you with the scientific and biological aspects of it, but emotionally, it's obvious that you're struggling, Hitch. You need someone by your side. Someone who actually knows you. Someone who can care about you more.
Oh, and here I thought you actually enjoyed my company. I guess not.
You know perfectly well that isn't what I meant. Hitch, this is an uncertain time. He's part of the Survey Corps. And now, more than ever before, life isn't a guarantee. As a matter of fact, we lost someone very close to us recently. And it was by the hand of a human. The point is, there's no telling when he'll die. Do you really want him to go without ever knowing what you're going through? Why you've been so distant and moody?
That is neither here nor there, Arlert. So why don't you just keep that bullshit to yourself or blab it to Annie?
Hitch, you asked me to be there for you, to help you. I can't help you if you don't accept my assistance. Now, if you actually want my help, you're gonna have to work with me a little. You need to tell him.
Not in a million years, Arlert.
Fine then. Just know you drove me to this.
Oh, really? And what exactly did I drive you to?
I left him a note telling him to meet you here. In 5 minutes, I believe. Oh, strike that. Now. I know you were going through a lot the last time you tried to meet up with him, so I understand why you backed out of telling him about this. But so help me, if you do the same thing now, I'll tell him myself. And trust me, it'll mean a lot less coming from me. In fact, it might mean so little to him that he might get frustrated with you because you weren't the one to tell him. So wait here, and when he gets here, tell him what is going on.
You are... Fine, whatever. I'll tell him, okay? Are you happy now?
I'll be happy when you actually tell him. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to speak with Mikasa about something.
You can drop it with the stupid code, Arlert. I know you're going back to see Annie.
Just focus on what you need to do, okay?
Oh. You're here awfully early. Or, I guess, you're here surprisingly exactly on time. You're never this early whenever I ask to meet you. Yeah, I did say in my note that it was urgent. I hope you realize this isn't life or death or anything. Well, strike that. It kind of is. Okay, I can tell already that I'm beginning to worry you, aren't I? Why don't you just sit down a moment with me, okay? It's not nearly as bad as it seems. I'm just terrible at articulating what's going on through my mind, okay? Yes. Everything's fine. For the most part, that is. I've been meaning to ask, how have things been on your missions recently? What do you think I mean, idiot? Have you had any near-death encounters? You were always pretty magnetic when it came to that kind of shit. Really? Well, you're right, that certainly is surprising. What about any of your friends? Oh dear. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. No, it isn't okay. It really isn't. You're still grieving. And I went to the funeral with you. I should know exactly how well your friend is doing. I'm very sorry. I wasn't thinking clearly. Huh? Yeah, it has been happening a lot recently. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. There's a reason for why I've been so off, and it's been weighing on my mind a lot. I've really been wanting to tell you, but I don't know. I guess the timing never seemed right, and then I just wasn't sure how you'd react to it. No, as I said, it's nothing bad. Or at least, I don't think it's bad, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't view it as bad. What I'm trying to say is, you and I have been together for a long time. About 5 years now, maybe 6. And we've always talked about wanting to have a family together. You remember that conversation? I believe that was fairly recent, actually. Right at the beginning of the year. Anyway, where am I going with this? I'm sorry, I'm still feeling a little off. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, after that conversation, you and I were very happy, and we may have ignored protocol and spent the night in the same room. And, after that, I started feeling a little sick, remember? Flu-like symptoms, nausea, fatigue, stuff like that. I took your advice, went to see Hanji about it, and they said it wasn't an illness of any kind. Why am I talking about this? I'm pregnant. You heard me, didn't you? I'm pregnant. After we were talking about having a family together someday, you got me pregnant. No, I'm not sure it's yours, idiot. What do you think? Why would I ever spend a night with anyone other than you? You're the only one I ever wanted. You're the only one I ever will want. I'm carrying your child. I have been for a few months now. And that's why I've been so off. That's why I've been distancing myself. You're always talking about how you don't want more stress added on to what you're already dealing with, and I thought that having another life to worry about, that would stress you out beyond what you could handle. So I just kept my mouth shut, and I tried to stay away from you as much as I could to avoid you finding out. Huh? Oh, great. You noticed that it wasn't my handwriting. Yeah, that's why Armin left you the note telling you to meet me here. He's been helping me out through all of this. Mostly just telling me what to expect. Of course, I wasn't relying on him emotionally. I've just kind of been winging it in that way. I really did want to tell you, though. And last time, with the timing, I chickened out before I could say it. That's why I seemed so off when you left. I've really missed talking to you so openly. Really, I have. And I'm probably going to start crying because you're just staring at me blankly, and I'm very scared that you're going to tell me that this isn't what you want, that this is just going to stress you out more, and that we shouldn't do this. I'm really scared that you're going to break up with me, or that you're going to say you don't love me, or that you don't want me to keep this child. So, forgive me if I cry. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to hold it back, but you know how pregnancy is. It makes you far more emotional because your hormones are telling you to protect the little creature that is growing inside of you, so you're trying your best to keep yourself safe, and that makes you more emotional because sensitivity and being more emotional, it makes you more protective, and... Really? You're not upset about this? Do you promise? You're happy about this. I wasn't expecting you to really be mad about this, but I wasn't expecting you to be happy either. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. To be honest, I wasn't expecting anything because I wasn't expecting to be having this conversation with you today, but Armin decided to spring it on me since I keep chickening out whenever I want to tell you. Yeah, I guess he is a pretty good wingman. But back to the point, to the subject at hand. I know that you're very stressed as it is, and I want you to know that if anything happens to you, I'll be fine. So, I really think that we should try to carry these kids to term and start a family. Oh God, I didn't say anything. No, I didn't say anything. Yeah, there are 2 of them. As far as I can tell, it's a boy and a girl. I was thinking that for the boy, we could name him Marlowe, if that's all right with you. The girl? Well, I was thinking recently. I've been a lot hungrier ever since I found out I was pregnant. So, maybe Sasha would be a fitting name? Do you think that would be a good way to remember her? Really? She and I, we weren't even that close. I just knew her because you did, and you told me all about her. But I'm glad that giving our daughter her name will be a good way to honor her. No, I'm fine. Just stupid hormones. I promise I'm fine. Huh? Oh, right, of course. No. Well, actually, come to think of it, yeah, someone else may or may not know that I'm pregnant, aside from you, me, Armin, and Hanji. Who is it? Well, Armin tends to tell Annie everything, so if she can really hear him, she probably knows. What was that you just said? It sounded like you were trying to make a joke. Yeah, if she ever comes out of that crystal, I will have a lot of explaining to do, won't I?